Hello friends, welcome to the house full of knowledge, where you can get knowledge on the house. So in this video, I'm going to teach you on what is Microsoft Excel VLOOKUP, when to use it and how to use it in a very simplistic way. So let's begin. First of all, what is VLOOKUP? VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. It is a built-in Microsoft Excel function that is designed to work with data which is organized into columns and not in a row. This means VLOOKUP helps to find information from data which is arranged vertically, therefore obviously in columns. So when to use VLOOKUP? When you want to find large and multiple information from same or different Excel spreadsheets. VLOOKUP is used to find a value and to see if it exists in another range of values. So moving to the most important part, which is how to use VLOOKUP. But before we start with the how, I would like to highlight conditions and criteria of VLOOKUP. This means VLOOKUP will be performed perfectly if the following conditions are adhered during the VLOOKUP process. Number 1. The V in VLOOKUP stands for vertical. This means that the data in the table must be arranged vertically. Number 2. Excel searches for a lookup value in the leftmost column, which is the first column you select from your spreadsheet. Let's start with how to use VLOOKUP. As you can see, there are two different worksheets available in this Excel file, named worksheet number 1 and worksheet number 2. So let me give you all the background for both of the worksheets. As I said, it's worksheet number 1 and worksheet number 2. So let's begin. Worksheet number 1 is the master sheet, which consists of detailed information about all the characters from the Game of Thrones series, which are employee ID, first name, last name and gender. On the other hand, worksheet number 2 is the sheet that needs to be updated with the relevant information. This means it has to be extracted from master worksheet number 1. So in worksheet number 2, we have this set of information and we have to find first name. So the condition in this sheet, sheet number 1, the first column we select in the table array should be the employee ID column. To show you guys why VLOOKUP is important Excel function to know, let me give you an example. Let's assume we just want information of employee ID 40596. How will we find it? We will click that cell copy. We will click that cell, copy it by pressing Ctrl C and go to the master sheet. Press Ctrl F key. Paste the employee ID by pressing Ctrl V and hit the Enter key. This process helps us find information for one employee ID. But what if we need information of hundreds and thousands of employee ID? How will we find it? So searching individually will consume a lot of time. That is when VLOOKUP comes in handy. So VLOOKUP helps you save your time when multiple columns need to be updated. This VLOOKUP is called intersheet VLOOKUP, since we need to update worksheet number 2 by extracting information from worksheet number 1. So how do we do this? To initiate VLOOKUP, we need to click on this empty cell, which is next to employee ID of worksheet number 2, and type equal to sign and V. Just by doing this, Excel shows various formula. So all you need to do is scroll to the VLOOKUP and hit the tab key. Number 2, by doing this, Excel displays opening and closing bracket along with step-by-step VLOOKUP process, which makes it easier for the user to execute VLOOKUP. As you will update necessary input inside the bracket, VLOOKUP guide will help and ensure you keep on shifting to the next necessary feed which needs to be updated. Now let's understand what are these informations displayed by the Excel spreadsheet and how is it going to help us update our worksheet number 2 with the right information. There are basically 5 steps to complete VLOOKUP. 4 are mentioned in this guide and 1 is hidden, which is not mentioned. Let's start with the first step. Lookup value. So point number 1. The value you're looking for is called as lookup_value. In this scenario, lookup value is the employee ID. Let's select the employee ID. So you must note, do not select the heading, and after every time we select a cell, we need to put a comma and proceed with the next step as per guided by Microsoft Excel. The second step is to select the table array. Table array refers to the range of values that make up the table, usually designated as table_array. Let's check for the lookup value and see if it is in the range of a table array. Let's select the whole range of table, which starts from C5 and ends at F46. But you must note, we can consider heading in this, and also would like to highlight again something which can be mentioned in the beginning of the video. Microsoft Excel searches for lookup value in the leftmost column of a section within your spreadsheet. This is referred to as table array. As per the Excel guide, we are supposed to input comma and move to the next step. But there is a catch here, which is the third step. The third step is not mentioned in Microsoft Excel guide that needs to be added immediately after selecting table array, which is adding the $sign in table array. To add the $sign, all you need to do is press function, which is Fn. So the function key, and press F4 key at the same time. Once you do that, you can see a $sign appearing on the screen covering C and F. I know you must all be wondering, why do you need to put a $sign here? And how does it help? Well, the $sign helps figure not to move, which means putting $sign makes the cell, row or column absolute. Therefore, when you copy, it does not change. Post which, we have selected the table, we need to put a comma. The fourth step in the update the column index number. So column index number is the number of the column from which to retrieve the result. This is referred to as column_index. This means the information you are looking for in this column, which in this case is column 2. So let's type 2. Once you type your column number, the screen shifts to worksheet number 2 on its own. So do not get worried about it. Post this, we have updated the column number. We have to put a comma, just like the previous steps. Now we're heading to the last step, which is the fifth step. This is known as range lookup. The match code, which is range_lookup, true equals approximate, false equals exact. Always type false or 0. This means you only want an an output for data that exactly matches order numbers. Once you have completed your last step, you can see that you have reached to the closing bracket, which means you have completed with all the necessary information. Now all you need to do is press the enter button. By doing this, information of employee ID 15432 gets displayed, which is Sansa. Now all you need to do is set the mouse cursor on the lower right corner of this cell and double click the left mouse button. Here we go, voila! You have all the information updated in the first name column. So we have now successfully completed the entire VLOOKUP process. Let Let me show you once again how to use VLOOKUP and get the necessary column updated with the right information within just 1 minute. Since we already have updated the first name using VLOOKUP, let's find the last name this time. Here we go. In worksheet number 2, first double-click the first cell of the last name column and type equals V. Scroll to the VLOOKUP formula and hit Tab key. Now let's follow the displayed formula. Here, the lookup value is the employee ID. Let's click that cell and enter comma. Now, once again, we'll move to the second step. In this case, we need to select table array, which is in worksheet number 1. In worksheet number 1, you need to select from C4 to F46, which means last name column is getting covered. You need to enter the third hidden step, which is to add $sign by pressing function key, which is on your keyboard Fn and F4 together at the same time. After this, add a comma. The fourth step is to update the column number. In this case, the column number is 3. You must be wondering, why 3? Well, we've mentioned 3 because the last name column is third. First is the employee ID, second is the first name, and third is the last name column. That's why we've used 3. Now we complete once again the fourth step, which is adding the column number. The screen shift from worksheet number 1 to worksheet number 2. Let's not forget to put a comma. You have reached to the fifth step, in which you always have to input the value 0. Now all you need to do is press the enter key. By doing this, information of employee ID 15432 gets displayed, which is dark. Now all you need to do is set the mouse cursor on the lower right corner of this cell and double-click the left mouse button. Voila! You have all the necessary information updated in the last column now. So, as a host, I hope we fed you with in-depth knowledge about how to use Microsoft Excel VLOOKUP function. Request you to like this video and subscribe Knowledge on the House channel. Also press the bell icon. This will help you get notified every time we upload a new, knowledgeable and fun video. Thank you for visiting. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Time for some wine.